Hi and welcome, Chartist. Today, I want to keep the analysis very simple and, it's festive season. We're all in a jolly mood. Let's just keep it nice and light for today. First, I want to dive into the price of Bitcoin. Let's analyze the situation together here. Also, as per my thumbnail, let's go through Ethereum, Arweave, Zilliqa, Sushi, Uniswap, and I'll briefly touch on those scenarios and just show you where we are from a macro and from a small time frame perspective. But for now, let's analyze the price of Bitcoin here together. And before we start, please like and subscribe. It's your way to show love towards the channel. Please use my affiliate links down in the description if you'd like to trade with me. It's your way to support me and keep me here to bring you this amazing or great analysis. Let's start and get serious. Okay, so analyzing the price of Bitcoin here, when you take a fixed, let me just see what this thing is called, a fixed range volume profile. I've been calling it different names, but basically what it does is it shows you the volume between two ends that you can pull. And in this little range that we've been in since 4th of December up until now, you can see, and I can actually extend it a little bit, you can see that, trade the range until there's no more range. We are currently inside this range, deviating outside, coming back in, deviating outside, where we now created the value area low with a nice high volume node. Also a nice high volume node here with a point of control, and currently just chopping through this point of control. And the question is always, are we going to break up or are we going to break down? Only time will tell. And the one scenario I did want to highlight is to say that, well, when you look at this entire structure, it doesn't really look impulsive to me towards the upside. Okay, it looks like it's slowing down, but it could be a spring building up or an explosive move to the upside as well. So not throwing any bullish scenarios out the window. Also, having a look at liquidity, you can see that, just want to zoom in a little bit. Let's go into the 3-day. You'll see that we grabbed some of the liquidity with this wick up. I can show you this little wick up here. We grabbed some of the liquidity, but not all of it. So nice, massive liquidity building here, or building up here on top. So perhaps before we potentially do have a move down, it would be nice to see that spike up, grabbing the liquidity and then falling down for lower levels, for a possible bounce at some of the areas I'll show you now. Okay, so looking at this structure that we have here, if I take a fib from the low and just measuring out this structure to the high, okay, do we have some levels of confluence? And I could even argue to say that, well, let's take it from this pivot for now and look at the structure inside the value area region. Okay, so we have formed a fresh daily level here that's untapped at the moment, and we do have two order blocks. We have a nice little order block over here, consolidation. Also a nice little consolidation over here. We have a 618 and we have a 786 down here. Okay, ideally I don't want to see us touch the 0.88, because what that does mean is, statistically speaking, when you tap the 0.88, any move towards the upside is a corrective structure for impulses to the downside to continue, or to at least come and claim this low. Okay, so if we had to hit the 0.88, chances are we're going to hit it, maybe bounce back until the 618 and then come and claim this low, potentially bouncing on this daily level, or then move for momentum up, back to the upside. Okay, so just taking this out as well. So one scenario that I'm watching is to say for longs, okay, definitely the 618, which we have confluence here with this little order block. And I think if you go and take your fixed range profile and you measure this little move inside here, you'll see that we have a point of control inside, in confluence with the 618 as well. So definitely an area that I will be watching for a potential long to the upside, is to say that, well, if we do come down here, I don't really see us bouncing on the 50% fib level. There's just no real confluence unless we're going to find support above these highs. Okay, but it does make sense to come and test this order block if we do fall down here, or then a potential bounce. And if we do get a small bounce and we do fall down again, then you can start drawing your trend line depending on how we bounce. So perhaps we bounce on the 618, we reject, we bounce on the 786, and then we finally have that breakout to the upside. Okay, this 786, also want to take these brushes out the way quick. Okay, let's look at this 786 area up until there. Cool. Okay, also point of control in alignment, not perfect alignment, but close enough, in alignment with the 786 and this daily level. So could it mean, and this is perhaps the one scenario that could play out, is to say that perhaps we still bounce here and then we find continuation to the downside. We have a little bounce again, continuation to the downside. We have a SFP for then continuation to the upside. And then you can go and take your trend line and track this momentum to the downside and play either the breakout or the SFP from this daily level. Okay, obviously there's a probability to say that we could SFP here, bounce there again, and drop to this daily level, which is in confluence with this order block over here, for then continuation to the downside or continuation to the upside. Okay, so definitely two long areas that I will keep an eye on, is to say 0618, 786 in confluence with this daily level. And if we do drop further, it kind of feels like if we had to drop further, even though we have a daily level here, perhaps we're going to come and claim this liquidity. So we'll just have to really observe the price reaction when we do get to this level. Okay, cool. That's basically my analysis on Bitcoin from a long perspective to the upside, or if we fall down here, where can we possibly long? Looking more to the upside, let's take this out and take the fib out. This fib, okay, cool. Let's just clean it up. I'm going to switch on my daily levels. Okay, I have this SFP line that I discussed yesterday in my update as well, is to say that, well, perhaps another scenario is that we find strength here on this support, and it has been acting as such good support at the moment. These highs over here, not failing to break down, actually making higher lows at the moment. So could we find strength here to come and grab all the liquidity that's been building up here that I've just shown you in the liquidity heat map, and then SFPing from this high, grabbing the liquidity on top here for then a momentum to the downside, perhaps bouncing on this area again, or even lower as per the scenarios I've just shown you here at the 618 or the 786 level. Obviously your fib will then change a little bit. Just for interest sake, I want to see that, well, if I do take a fib to the potential high, and we highly speculate, you know, we speculating over here. Okay, is 618, then has confluence here almost with a value area high of this range, which is also, you know, golden box area over here. Okay, golden area over here, anywhere between the 0.618, 786 golden zone, and then 786 between the 88 and 786 still in confluence. But I mean, we are just, you know, speculating about a potential move to the upside. But for now, based on data that we have in front of us, these are the fib levels. Okay, also the SFP right above these lows, perhaps eating the liquidity above here, or even going to the value area high and the yearly level. Definitely an important level that I will be observing, is to say that, well, if we do find strength here to the upside and we break this area with relatively high volume, and we consolidate above, finding strength, not weakness to the downside, because that would be considered a swing failure pattern, but we consolidating above, or then strength to the upside. These are areas that I will be watching very closely to say that, well, will we have enough strength to break through here with high volume, or is this going to be that tap and then a massive move to the downside? Okay, cool. Then quickly jumping into the price of Ethereum. What am I seeing on Ethereum? Just keeping it basic, keeping it very simple. Trendline strategy. I love trendline strategies. They work specifically well on altcoins. I have found that altcoins generally do not respect daily, weekly and monthly levels as nicely as Bitcoin, which is more mature, bigger market cap. Okay, so I have this momentum trend line to the upside, and don't be scared to move your trend as the trend develops. So it was here, and usually for me, any pullback into, which I call the home line, is a buying opportunity. Buying opportunity, buying opportunity. We wicked in there, was a buying opportunity. Okay, and then we created this, we had this resistance which we flipped into support, currently being supported by these highs over here. And I I've been tracking this momentum to the downside, and now finally we are breaking through, and it does look like there's relatively high volume coming into Ethereum. So are we going to come and claim this high? And that's usually your minimum target, is that when you play a break of strategy, you enter, you put your stop loss below the lows, wherever your risk management strategy tells you to put your stop loss. Your target is the high. Okay, but we do have a weekly level here, so could we potentially SFP even grabbing, touching this high for then continuation to the downside? We'll just have to monitor as we get to this level and observe the price reaction. Big green volume to the upside, consolidating above, means that we could look for higher levels. Tapping it with weakness and getting acceptance back below, also breaking this trend, would spell lower prices, perhaps bouncing here back on the support. And then if we do lose this area and we start consolidating below, we could look at lower levels, even bouncing on this trend that I have over here. Okay, just want to zoom out to show you guys where do I get that trend from. It's quite from the 19th of June up until where we touched it for the last time in 14th, 15th of October, and now we have the sharp momentum to the upside. So this is definitely my main home line, and I would be scooping up any price action that comes close or beneath this level aggressively from a spot perspective. You know, and it's like I've mentioned in some of my other videos as well, is that any price action inside of this area is loading up zone. I mean, I don't know how many opportunities we will still get to come and load up in this zone. And now we've already left the station. We are finding support. This RS flip, resistance into support. Will we come back down? If we do, that will be a beautiful opportunity to load up in your ETH bags for that potential next bull run, speculating next year April to kick off. Okay, looking at Arweave. Okay, let me just zoom out here a little bit. I spoke about Arweave in my last couple of videos as well. I've been moving this trend as we have been finding momentum to the upside. The first breakout I played was this little breakout over here, and then we started consolidating, falling down, creating this double bottom. Okay, like almost to the dollar, a double bottom. And then because of this double bottom, I moved my trend line over there. We broke through again, find strength, little retest, and then I moved my trend again. Just to say that, okay, then I've been tracking this momentum to the downside, finally breaking through, also flipping this resistance into support, retesting it, and now I'm tracking this momentum to the downside. Okay, is to say that, well, will we find strength here? Perhaps finding strength in this area for then perhaps a tap and a breakout to the upside, or if we lose this area, we start consolidating below, we could be looking at lower levels. Okay, so just keeping an eye on AR over there. Zilica, same thing. You'll see, love my little trend lines on Zilica, tracking this momentum here to the upside, and just perhaps zooming out a little bit just to show you where I'm getting all these trend lines from. Okay, let me just get this out the way. Okay, massive momentum from long ago that we've been tracking. I've got my price targets in here, my resistance and my resistance area for possible turnarounds and profit taking. TP1, 2, 3, 4 already marked out. You know, plan your trades, even for your spot bags. You need to take profits on the way up. You don't want to be that person that makes an insane amount of cash during the bull run only to lose it all when the price starts tanking and we go into the next bear cycle. And you know, that's been a recipe for many traders during this last bull cycle, is that in making insane amounts of cash and losing it all during the bear cycle. Okay, let's not be those people. Let's trade wisely and take profits on our way up. Okay, so that's basically the momentum that I've been tracking, the strength from the downside. We broke through. This is my home line, and also I've been tracking this little trend here to the downside. Okay, and now we've got this aggressive trend. I don't really enjoy trend lines that is this aggressive to the upside. It kind of feels to me always when you see something like this, it feels like it needs to make that price action for continuation to the upside, which gives you a better trend to then track. Okay. a more 45-degree angle trend. Those are my favorite trends to track. The ones that goes up almost in a straight line is too aggressive to come and buy those pullbacks, because you could get these little wicks, these little wicks that just wick you out every, that's a little bit aggressive, but it wicks you out every time it touches the trend line, so making it very difficult to buy in. So I would like to see a little bit of a deeper retracement to have my nicer momentum line to the upside, but for now, that's what we have. Just undo it. Let's go into smaller time frames here on Zilica, and okay, finding resistance here at these highs, this little order block currently struggling to break through, so you want to see us break through here, hold this level for continuation to the upside. Okay, but still looking strong nonetheless. It has been lagging a lot behind some of the other altcoins, which has done hundreds of percents. I think Zilica is still one that I'm tracking to say that it still has a lot of legs if Bitcoin can play ball and continue this little grind to the upside. Okay, Sushi swap. And you know, just to make it clear, I'm not married to any of these coins. I'm not saying these are my favorite coins and I've got massive spot bags. For me, it's about making money, not being married to the coin, buy at the lowest levels and take profit at the highest levels possible. Okay, so zooming in here, I just want to see what this structure looks like. Just waiting for everything to load up. The reason I chose Sushi Swap for today's video is when you look at this structure, and I'm just waiting for it to load up, you can see here on the 5th of November 2020, we made this little low. And then we made this low, which I tracked as soon as it happened, because we had the range between this support and this resistance. Just going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Nice little range to trade. And then we lost the range. And it was like, ooh, how far are we going to fall? And we almost to the dollar formed a perfect double bottom. Okay, finding that consolidation, then breaking this downsloping trend, finally breaking it, and now we have this momentum to the upside. Okay, so definitely a coin that I'm watching, and as always, any pullback back into the home line is a buying opportunity. So for me, this was a definite loading up zone. Just want to grab my brush over here. Definite loading up zone. And even if we continue up here and we come back down, definite loading up zone, and also a definite profit taking zone. As soon as you get to resistance, that is a clear profit TP1, and you can decide whether you want this to be like a TP1 and TP2s on top. But yeah, always take profit at resistance. Okay, and if you're shorting, you take profit at support. And so yeah, this is basically the momentum on Sushi that I've been tracking. And then the last coin, Uniswap, quite a lot of support and resistance levels here. I've been monitoring this coin as well. And what is a little bit disturbing is that I have been tracking this momentum to the downside, and we broke through and we turned this resistance into support. Okay, so I'll switch off my magnet there. And I'm now tracking the momentum to the upside. So tick number one is that we have broken out of this consolidation and out of trend. But we didn't manage to break this resistance yet. You can see this resistance has been very strong and not giving us that opportunity to break through, flipping it into support for continuation to the upside. What is also a little bit disturbing about Uniswap for me is to say that when I look at this price action and I look at what's happening over here, kind of feels very similar. Okay, you have this consolidation, you have the wick up, you reject. Then you test, you flip this into support, this area into support. So you test it, you have more momentum to the upside, and then you just lose it. And you even lose the next support level. Okay, where when you look at this structure, we broke through, we've consolidated, not managing to break through. Now we're consolidating again. Could this be a rejection down again to perhaps even the trend line or in the support area, or even lower levels like what happened over here? It just, you know, market doesn't always do the same thing, but it does rhyme. It's just when you look at the structure, let me take the scribble out here so we can just clearly see it. When you look at the structure, I mean, Tell me in the comments down below, doesn't this look very similar? Or is this going to be that scenario where we find strength, we touch the home line, okay? RS flip, we flip this resistance into support, and now we are going to find continuation to the upside, flipping this into support as well. What ideally I would like to see here is us breaking through and holding this level for continuation to the upside. At the moment, it just looks like rejection after rejection after rejection. So just keeping an eye on that one as well. Okay, that is basically it from me, just having some fun going through some altcoins. Let me know in the comments below which is your favorite altcoin, and I will make sure that I look at it, and perhaps if it's interesting enough or worth a trade, I will discuss it in my next update. Until the next one, cheers for now.